These guys have some history. These guys have been playing against each other, whether it be semifinals or grand finals. They know each other's play style. They are very familiar with what is about to go down. So here we are. So Double R, Marz played in week number 2. It was a 2-0-10 3-round count. Marz took the victory. Let's go back to week number 1, which I don't believe they actually, no, Driven by Fear ended up playing in week number 1.
Came out swinging.
DBF played against Double R. They did, but then they didn't make it into the bracket, man. They were looking good.
Never saw him again. Never saw him again after that point. You know, I was hoping that we was going to see him week after week. I love watching Noxious and the crew play, but, you know, this is a new era of Gears, you know, and so we got some new talent at the top.
We definitely do, man. New coaches, too, of Jippery McLeod. We've been singing his praise, right? I mean, he's definitely leading the troops. I know he said this morning on a tweet, look, I'm eating a big breakfast this morning. I'm getting things right, doing some VOD reviews, and I'm going to guide my troops to battle. And that's what he's been doing, so shout out to him. He's definitely doing a good job. He's taken that coach, you know, role and really took off with the play. He's taking it very seriously, and honestly, you need that in a coach.
And I'm happy, man, because, you know, growing up playing Gears Esports, you know, back in the day, coaches just hopped on the roster just to get the free pass, man, save a few dollars. But, you know, as time goes on and these teams start taking this a little bit more seriously, it's guys out there who will make you a better squad because they're able to see the game from a different perspective that sometimes the team is not able to see. So Jeffrey is a solid foundation here to this squad. And his knowledge, man, it definitely comes through.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a competitor himself, is he not? And he's been a Gears fanatic through and through. So what a better man to be leading his troops. All right, let's get it started. Marz versus Double R. First map, of course, Double R ended up picking Asylum. This is their bread and butter, or at least it has been, I should say, against several other teams in the past. So we'll see how well they're going to play tonight. And I will say for... You know, Nero is the playmaker for this roster without question. Nero and ManiiK are going to be the guys to really take it to them. It's funny that they're not on tracks. They prefer to fight that streets fight, which, fair enough, it betters their chances of getting the overextension. But the front train comes through. That's going to put these players into action, and ManiiK and Toxiq pushing up and Rocky and Abolics.
All right, can they hit the shots that they need to? Rocky and Abolics are doing a great job forcing them back, but first blood comes through for ManiiK, quickly traded out. Nero's trying to rotate over to help, but he has his hands full with Zoom there, over there towards the gate side. But Toxiq, man, he says he's got to take this 1v1 now. He has some help. They need to make the play, and he does make it, Taylor. That kill coming through. The B-Hill stays locked in here for RR. They're going to be able to pick up one more. Toxiq able to close the gap to get the meat shield. And at this point, RR, they're thinking about trying to get the trip cap domination. Now, they do have a Marz member on the other side of the map trying to fight a 1v2. Morality did his best. He took one to the grave. Nero is going to be able to take one as well. Well, he's not going back to the grave. He's towards the respawn. I spoke a little bit too soon. Rocky says, hold up, Blaze. Give me some time. Give me some time. I'll send him back to the respawn.
Rocky going off as he typically does. Rocky, Abolics, Morality, Zoom. Come on. Speaking of which, Zoom, right? He was the new addition back when this roster was trying to qualify for Pro League throughout the last chance qualifiers. They were playing with Lanarchy. Zoom ended up taking his spot. That's why they ended up becoming Marz, because, of course, Morality, Abolics, Rocky, and Zoom, it just makes sense. I figured that out late in the game, so I'm just letting you guys know. So when they do transfer to Pro League, you're not too far behind. But Zoom has been a great addition. Toxiq taking a hit by the train. Unfortunate to say the least. Train Conductor still will stack one more up for the kill counter. But again, Zoom, man, is just, he's phenomenal. He's just that Swiss Army knife, if you will. He can do it all, it seems. And at this point, Marz is doing it all. They're going for the overextension, looking to lock this in a way of domination.
Yeah, you see the Lancer Fire coming in from the left from those two players, getting an easy pinch from Trax. And that started off the suicide that we kind of had on Trax, right? You know, I think that was what Zoom that lost his life to the conductor, but that was the main advantage that Marz needed to be able to close that round out. So good job to them for locking in round number one. And it was a close one, man. I feel like RR was winning some great fights there. They put the pressure on Marz. They just didn't survive to the late game.
All right, so Marz takes over round number 1, and quite disappointing because Double R had that advantage for quite some time. But as you mentioned, Toxiq running headfirst into the train definitely wasn't intended, but it is what it is. And then the chips fell as they did. So Bulldogs are going to be down. We're going to be heading in round 2 to see how it all works out. Morality having a great start, 4-1, 1 depth to his name. He's also playing that objective work, and he's going to be joining Zoom, I believe. Yes, on the other side, to challenge Feint and Nero on that Streets fight. Immediately, though, rough start for Double R. ManiiK's going to fall down. Rocky smells blood in the water. He's going to be going for it. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the shot off. Abolics has to go big. Can't get the trade. ManiiK finally falls. Toxiq down, and Abolics is the hero.
Ooh, luckily for Rocky, he has Abolics who has his back. Unfortunate that he didn't get the chunk, but Abolics picks up both kills, and with that advantage, Abolics is flanking towards the A hill. His teammates, they are pressing from the top street, knowing that their Slayer is going to be meeting them on top of this home hill momentarily as they pick up another kill. Trip cap domination coming through here. Can RR make it? They get a touch, but they need more than just a touch there. Marz, they win their second round in a row in just 57 seconds.
Yeah, very quick round. Again, it's unfortunate ManiiK had to fall a little bit earlier. If he stays up, who knows? Maybe that Rocky doesn't decide to push up as aggressively as he did. But even so, Rocky was traded out and ManiiK was picked back up. Toxiq was doing a great job in kind of being that assisting player, right, to just go for the team pickups. But regardless, though, Abolics ended up ending that 1v2, taking the neutral, and then it was business as usual there on entrance through Streets. So now Toxiq is going to change things up for Double R. We're going to get something over on entrance. Fair enough. The fight's not been going well in the previous 2 rounds. Might as well change up things. But this is going to be a great indication for that drop shot, especially. So you already know teams are going to commit for this. But this is going to be a great indication as to how the second half is going to flow.
It really is going to be a great indication. We get 2 rounds in the first half to see how this entrance Streets fight is gonna kind of play out. Now we see it being respected as a 2v2 currently between both teams. Player 9 is gonna cut through the middle. He has a 1v1. And he's gonna hop over, and that's gonna be an easy kill for Rocky. He gets the first down in the round once again, and his team is able to kind of change some kills off of that one, as it's only 1 member left from the side of RR on top of the home hill as Beeslaw already locked in. This is going to be a quicker round than the last off the back of another initial down from Rocky. So good job to Marz. Their game plan is working out. They do this one 20 seconds earlier with 37. So good job to Marz. They are showing that it is levels in the Challenger Series.
Huge levels indeed, and I think that's kind of been the theme, right? Whether it be Pro League, Challenger Series, there are levels to this. And Toxiq didn't even have a chance to shoot the drop shot, right? I mean, he didn't even fire it off. Am I mistaken?
No, I didn't hear it go down.
So if you're getting pressure in admin, and you know you're 1 of 2 that's standing up, and the other teammate is over on tracks or at least far away, shoot that drop shot out. It's not going to hurt. Don't let it go to waste. You know, he probably could have brought that to a 1v1 and you know, had a better chance. But it is what it is. What happened is what happened. Morality is going to be pushing the charge. He's been doing a great job once again. His stats prove that to be so, and he's going to have that retro. And man, you can really see Marz is not respecting the competition. But then again, they have won 3 quick rounds. Use that drop shot. There you go. Shoot it out there. It gets the hit marker on Zoom. That's going to be enough to finish him off. That's what we needed to see in that previous round.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to see. Morality was kind of slow off the start there. You got to get some initial shots with that retro on the drop shot. But you see RR, they have control of the round right now. Trip cap coming through, Taylor. This is a 1v1. ManiiK, Zoom trying to stay in the hill, playing for the decap, and he gets the kill and the decap to extend the round for his squad. He was really quick off the respawn to make that play happen.
Down you Zoom, phenomenal addition. He said he had huge shoes to fill with Lanarchy. He wasn't wrong by any means, but I gotta say, man, he has absolutely filled the shoes. And honestly, even the same thing, the narrative, right, when Mental left and we were seeing TJ come through, you really don't have to fill the shoes. You just have to fill what is needed with that roster. Be yourself and play to the best of your abilities, and that's what Zoom is doing in this case. Big push from Marz, though, looking to retake control. They have suffered about a 50-point deficit, but they should be able to recover it quite quickly. I say that. However, Morality trying to hold in streets, puts himself in a 1v2, and Nero as well as Feint will push through him, but through the tracks. It is going to be Marz taking control. One going for the overextension. He's trying to get the break on A.
Man, it was a great job from RR to win their fights, overextend, get both home hills. But when that happened, you saw Marz, all three players, they pushed the tracks. Those two guys on their team got to try to stay alive as long as they can. But it's a difficult fight, man, when you are down a man anywhere on the map. That's why rotations are so important in these type of games. But RR was not able to recover. It was Marz with a perfect rotation on tracks to push through, make their opponents feel uncomfortable. Even though after they did something great on the other end of the map, RR was not able to recover fast enough and adjust what Marz brought their way. So you see it, 4-0, man, locked in. Marz, man, they got, it's a reason why they are the top team in the Challenger Series, man. They got something for every situation.
Big reason why they're here. You know, to be honest with you, you know, they're up 4-0. They're looking good. They're pushing these fights, and they're doing it as they should. Little wrap there for you guys. Morality, by the way, 11-2. I think only 4 deaths. Again, he continues to play well. There he is on your screen with the stats. So, big half. We've already seen the fight for drop shot. It's pretty much been a 2v2. You had to prioritize that neutral, but now it's going to be everybody going for everybody, and the potential for a quick round is there. But Marz is going to send 2 players down low once again. Interesting strategy. They've continued to play the same way from the first half to the second.
Yeah, they have, man. Just trying to get some pressure towards the home hill, take that map control. But when it comes down to Abolics and Morality, they don't need the third guy on this side of the map. You know, they're doing great utilizing the small advantages in which they have to get the first blood, to stay alive. And the longer they stay alive, their teammates should have the advantage down low, the numbers advantage, to just kind of rotate the numbers and get a flank on these players. And we're seeing that happen, but RR do a great job at recovering, staying calm, getting the kills in which they need. But you know, one thing with staying calm, you have to stay calm long enough to make the right play right afterwards quickly. Right. So, and you know, when it comes down to the side of RR, they got the E hill locked in. They have their home hill locked in. 2-to-1 hill set up. They are about to take the lead soon. They have made the right moves, but now you got to just need to get some Marz push. Show us the defensive ability.
And they are pushing hard. Rocky, no fear at all, straight into Feint, takes him out. ManiiK now forced to push up, try and just get anything going. Morality's going to push him, get the chunk. Toxiq now might be the next victim. He is. Morality, quick, easy, 2-piece. And Zoom is going to be getting that early break. Player 8 Feint. All he can do is snub out as he looks as his home hill is going to be captured, as Morality will take him out from the flank to get the 3-piece at the end. 5-0 victory, and that is going to be in the way of Marz, getting them that much closer to securing their spot in Pro League. But man, Marz looking unstoppable, Blaze. We'll see if Double R can answer back on training grounds. They got to shut down Morality. 15-3, only a handful of devs. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll see if Double R can answer back on TG. Welcome back, everybody, to Mid-Split Relegation. Trying to figure out who our 2 fresh teams will be in the Pro League. Flawless start for the boys on Marz. 5-0 victory on Double R's better maps of Asylum. I called it their bread and butter. I still feel it is going to be the case, but it is what it is. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board, figure out how they want to attack this Marz roster on training grounds, which last week it was 4-0 before Marz ended up losing in a reverse streak, or a reverse comeback, I should say. Double R ended up winning that in round 9, 5-4. So maybe there is a chance Double R can take the victory. But as Blaze loves to say, there are levels to this. You pointed out a stat. I think it was Abolics. He was looking at 4-18 and 4 deaths, Blaze.
Yeah, 4-18 and 4 deaths, man, throughout that first mat. Top fragging, capping hills. And you know, we saw 2 of those kills early on in the matchup, the double kill that he got. So just to put out so much damage throughout all the other players, you know, highlighting his teammates, man, is just hey, it was just a great performance from him throughout the map. So we'll see if we see a repeat performance here in map number 2, but he's definitely working smarter, not harder. And we're about to see the boys of Marz go over towards their best map on Trading Grounds.
Yes, we definitely are. Well, best map. I really don't know what their best map is, to be truthful. I haven't seen them other than Aquí Vamos de Nuevo. That's the only team that's truly been able to challenge them and send them to a very narrow victory, right? As you mentioned, 100K channel points. It is what it is. Round 9, though, map number 3, Blaze. That was the team that I felt had the very real chance to defeat this roster. But like you mentioned, Training Grounds, one of their better maps. They have chose it 2 weeks in a row, so clearly they do favor something about this map. I'd love to see them play maybe like a Pittsburgh Knights on Training Ground. Well, maybe, I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe we will get a chance to see that. After all, they are trying to be a pro league team. Let's get it started. Big battle on Overlook, 3v3. The boys of Double R are going to prefer that bottom side, whereas Marz, they're going to go ahead and take that U side. And Morality's going to get gunned down early on, so maybe a good start. Abolics, though, is going to be there. Gets one down, but not the finish. So well done, Double R. Well on the way for the OE.
Yeah, well underway for the OE indeed. Now, can they get through with that kill? That opens the door wide open to get to that home hill. So A hill locked in, C hill locked in, a collapse on top of B. Morality doing his best to fight off his opponents. His teammates will lose the fight down low. The trip cap domination is here. Abolics, can you be the hero? He will get cleaned up. His teammate Rocky wins the fight, but his battle isn't over just yet. The kill cleanup is there. He dodges a few shots. The flashes are there from deep. Zoom. Morality taking so much damage here. The revives are crucial just to negate some of that damage. And look at the teamwork, the effort. Zoom misses the shot, but his teammates get there to help. Now, if RR loses this round, when I tell you that the morale on this squad may just be crushed, because that would be a hard one to lose. Look at the score. They were fighting
I know.
tooth and nail on top of that C hill to get this one locked in. But now the boys of Marz, they got a breath of fresh air.
Well, they definitely do, and it is morality. So Toxiq's going to be their utility. Oh, look at this push. Okay, taking the fight into his own hands. Feint just on the other side. Nice.
Pro League moves.
My gosh, and you're right. Pro League moves indeed. Come on, he's literally pushing into the open to challenge these guys. Either way, though, Double R does take A and B back.
ManiiK won a big 1v1 down at B. Got to show him some love for that one.
Yes, sir.
But you look at the score. It is going to be Double R with a 2-1 hill setup. And they have to defend against maybe one, maybe two more team fights if they want to take this one, Taylor. It's not over just yet. They need to show us how good their defense is currently. And it's looking great because Nero, as soon as he gets that kill, he knows that nobody's in front of him. So he's just going to go for the decap. Make it even harder on Marz to win a round. And that's a pro league move as well.
Player 9's going to be getting the break, but he's by himself. You know, say what you will, Marz is putting themselves in a lot of difficult spots, normally 1vx situations, and something they do need to lock up if they want to try and beat this Double R roster. Again, complacency kills, and that's my biggest worry for Marz. I know they have the talent to beat any team out there, but knowing you can beat any team out there, maybe sometimes you get into that mentality where you take teams too lightly. I hope this isn't going to be the case. Double R does take round 1, and again, they played that very, very well. And you mentioned ManiiK doing his big 1v1 over on the neutral hill, kept the team alive. That's what needed to be done.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what needs to be done. He loses that, and then Marz can come off respawn, and they kind of reset in the 2-1 hill setup, get some points, and possibly play for just a decap at the end. Not even for a capture, but you know, just for a team fight on top of their opponent's home hill for a decap and possibly a win. So good job to ManiiK winning that one. Now we head here into round number 2. Botox are gonna be down, and I'm curious if we see that same aggression out of RR. We saw a base 2-2 out of Marz, I believe, in round number 1, but we are gonna see a 3-1 being ran from both teams. Prioritization is going to be top. Overlook, morality, Abolics. The flashes are out. Abolics flash is not connected. He gets hit with one. He's going to have to defend against that up top, that pressure, and he will be able to. His morality gets one. Zoom with the cross. Player 9. He's able to pick up a double down and help his teammates out up top. And morality and Abolics, man, just chain reviving out. They got the kills. They got 2 to be exact. But they did lose their teammate down low. What a wrap shot for morality to just lock in the Overlook. They want more, though.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me there was Nero pushed by himself in that 1v2 trying to go on Overlook, but he had Toxiq behind him. If he just waited literally a fraction of a second, Toxiq could have been there to help him out, whether it be for the team revive or a trade in general to bring it to a 1v1. I felt Nero pushed the gun a little bit too early there and gave the advantage too easily over to Morality, who, as you mentioned, hit that beautiful wrap shot. Either way, Double R off the respawn. They're looking to take Overlook once again, but that Lancer fire, the team fire is hurting, and you got Abolics down low, who is now by himself, but doubles back, takes down one, and then you got Rocky, who's there just behind him, blindsides a couple of others, takes them down. Nero last alive, and a domination's coming in.
Nero, he missed the point blank, but he needs to get to the hill. The Lancer is out for Zoom, man. He's going to make it difficult on him to get there. Marz, they get the first round in 1 minute and 32 seconds against the boys of RR. And hey, hard-fought round for them. You know, and honestly, from the initial, they won it, and they kept control throughout the map the entire time. They went into defensive position. They won the second team fight. And they were able to lock it in.
All right, so tied up 1-1. No craziness coming out just yet. We'll get those retros. Fair enough. They hit hard. Morality's been the guy who's been preferring the retros so far, given his play style and how aggressive he likes to be, which, again, I'm a big fan of that. You know, take in or get your own chip damage, right? Don't leave it to somebody else. But maybe Rocky takes it this time. He will. So fair enough. Another great Slayer. Another 3v3 taking place. This is going to be the fight pretty much throughout both the first half and second half. And Marz is going to get basically a free neutral. Player 2 decides to help the Overlook fight Lancer out, but unfortunately doesn't get the effect. And now you give up the neutral for free. You can't go in and challenge that 1v1 because if you lose it, you're no help to your team. You got to now readjust and try and battle against the overextension. This is a tough spot, and now the hill break is coming through.
Yeah, it's coming through indeed. Big morality. And there's
$5.
the staff. Colin, get the PayPal out and send that man his money.
Rocky. It's so vicious too, man. I love it. That's one thing that I love about Gears, man, is just how gruesome it can be sometimes, man. You just stick that knife right through the gut, lift them up. Brutal. That's $5, Rocky. Hey, but Rocky has to claim it, though. That's the only stipulation Colin made is like, hey, he's willing to put his bankroll out there. But those players who earned that money have to reach out to him. And if they don't, it's a lost cause. It's lost money.
Lost cause, man. Hey, but that's a free $5 for any bayonet stab in which you can get with that retro Lancer. So the retros will be off the map, upgraded to a shot grenade. This is going to change the fight up a bit when it comes down to the overlooking you because, you know, you can use that shot grenade to bait your opponent forward, trap them in a specific location, or just zone them back. Sometimes even just zone out the back lane so you can get a numbers advantage.
Right.
Now, I think it plays more into Marz's favor, and Double R don't even want that fight. They send 3 guys down low in the first half to push their opponent to their spawn, lock in the B hill, but they still make great usage of that shot, able to pick up multiple kills, and they'll have the B hill locked in. Now, luckily for them, most of their players, luckily for RR, most of Marz's players is closer towards the B hill, so their home hill will not be under siege just yet. They're going to have time to be able to retake portions of the map and get another clean team fight. Let's see what they choose to do with this opportunity, though.
Let's find out, man. There are a lot of things going down, and you know, good again. Double R is a very talented roster, but Marz are filling themselves. Like they are truly going for it. Morality is pushing every engagement he gets into with Reckless Abandon. And I say Reckless Abandon, but he's in control, and you can clearly see that with the way that he's picking off these elimination. Faint though, good win. Unfortunately, Lancer down. The domination comes through. Marz takes that 3-1 lead. And I hate to keep saying his name. I sound like a broken record, but Morality, just crazy.
Hey, man, you know, when you hog the spotlight, okay, you got 8 kills to your name, you know, by all means, you get to be talked about for a while, okay? You get to get all that love. Now, he isn't leading the top of the kill feed for his team. His other teammate, Abolics, he has 8 kills as well, but he has those 11 assists, multiple caps, just trying to get into that double-digit assist category once again, and he's already done that successfully. So just the entire roster here of Marz, as this map is progressing on, they are just looking like a pro league squad, and they're 2 rounds away from being one.
Yes, they are 2 rounds away from being that pro league team, and it's coming fast. All right, shocks are going to be in the hands of ManiiK and Rocky for their use, depending on where they decide to place it. But we've been watching this fight take place pretty consistently, and it has been all Marz who's been taking Morality, looking to tempt the competition, coming out with the chainsaw, saying, push me if you dare. But no one is pushing. Double R slowly making their way up top. Morality's going to double back, assist his teammates, and continue to push forward. ManiiK's going to be quite weak, but doesn't fall. Feint is going to be there for the trade and actually does get the cleanup. So well done. And Abolics, though, with the team pickup, is going to force Toxiq down. An overextension from player number 3. That's Nero. Unfortunately, short-lived. Zoom takes him down, and we're looking at another domination attempt, but it's going to be a little bit harder. You've got Double R coming off the respawn, and they're looking to fight for this.
They're looking to fight for it, but I don't know how much time they got to fight because they're not going to make it to the hill in time. It's 1 minute and 3 seconds here for the side of Marz, and honestly, they're really looking good because the last 4 rounds in which they've won, they've all been under 1 minute and 30 seconds. So that means that they're coming out, they're getting big kills off the initial, and they're translating those kills into heals very quickly. Sure. So it just shows that Marz has a great coach, right? And they've been doing the walkthroughs. They've been having some great practice because you only play that quick off the initial when you have really gone over and mastered the basics here.
Okay, so potential final round. Abolics leading 10-13 with 3 deaths to his name. Something you expect from a man such as Dakota Abolics. Either way, though, 1 round away from being a pro team. I know it's got to be exciting, and they want to close it out as quickly as they can, but it's not going to be easy. That pressure on Overlook is there. Toxiq opens up with 1. Morality looking to answer back with the 2. Does get a shot onto Feint. Ooh, bold push, and Feint takes him down. Well done. Double R looking promising.
Yeah, he says, you know what? I'm in a 1v2. I'm just going to make the first move and set the pace of the fight if I can. Great effort, but as you see here, RR was been very strong off the initial. But, the one thing about it is that they never cap the E-Hill. Player 1 is just making sure that he gets the Lancer on top of the heaven so he can help his teammates out. But now he needs to back up, have trust that his 3 teammates on this side of the map can hold off his heal as he's capping E. But does he have enough time? It's only 1 player down low, and it was a perfect initial here out of RR. So they're going to get their second round on the board.
All right, second round, staying alive. Brings it within 3 rounds to maybe send us to a map number 3, something we knew needed to happen. Harbor could be a toss-up and maybe the best chance Double R has to earning their Pro League spot right here, right now. Of course, there still is that loser bracket to play against Dream Conspiracy, but teams want to lock it in right now. For ManiiK, what are we going to be doing? Are we going to be switching up things? Fair enough. We're going to go down low, add that ensign. And for Abolics, wouldn't surprise me if he puts maybe a drop shot or something crazy up top. They love those close quarter fights. They feel confident off the starts, but it's not the smart play, to be fair. The ensign is the smarter play, especially if the round does extend. But either way, we got shocks, we have ensigns. Let's see how this next round goes.
Also with the home heals, the home heal set up in the second half being a very strong one. You want those incendiary grenades because if you lock that in, you're gonna have both incendiary grenades to your name. If you need that setup and the fights aren't going your way towards Overlook. So we see 1 is going to get tossed out here on the side of RR. Marz trying to hold back this push. Zoom working his right hand very well, but he's going to take initiative. His opponent backs up into his flame, and what a beautiful double kill from Zoom. 200 IQ play there. He knew that he had that one in the bag. Now he's going to zoom across towards his opponent's home hill to try to make it into the Pro League now.
Definitely going to try. This is a big spot now that Marz has put themselves in to close it out. But on the other side, Nero takes down 1, traded off. As it looks like, once again, it's going to be business as usual as Marz continues to pressure in. But ManiiK, though, ManiiK continues to push them back. That's going to be another player down. Double R is doing a great job on this overextension, but Rocky picks up 1, and Toxiq is forced back.
Yeah, a little 2-step, looking like Balboa with that straight. He's able to get his team in a great position to get the home hill. 4v2 on the map in favor here of Marz. 1 player coming off respawn for RR. Now, they will be able to capture the B hill. 2v2 fight on top of the home hill is won by Marz. Can player 9 do it? Can Zoom win the 1v1 on top of E? Can he make it happen for his team? He will, and the E hill is getting decapped. Now it's up to the members of Marz on top of the home hill of RR. Can they hold it off? Can they get the kills they need? They will, and welcome to the Pro League, Marz.
Welcome to the Pro League indeed, the most dominant team without question over the past 4 weeks, winning every single week of the Challenger Series, at least over the past 4 weeks. That was Marz. Well done, well deserved, and I gotta say I'm happy for these boys. Abolics is celebrating, rightly so. I know everybody else is pretty happy on that roster, and again, well deserved, man. There's no other team that I expected to be a pro caliber team other than this. And here they are. And you know what? Now that they have the spot, they got to make the most of it and get value, because now they're going to be playing against the big boys, and their job just got that much harder.
It did just get that much harder. But hey, you know what? They got a great group here, and they got a lot of good leadership. And, you know, when I talk about leadership, I'm kind of looking towards the side of Abolics and McLeod, because the reason why is that, you know, they can have this team looking like a mini Noble as they enter the league. You know, as I look at their stat line, I see the amount of assists that always come through versus kills. It just shows me that they're working together and they're shooting for each other. So it seems like that's the type of squad that they're going to be evolving to later on down the line. And, you know, we'll see if that comes to fruition. But at the end of the day, they got a lot of work on, and they have the best environment to improve in.
And they're hard workers, you know, they really are hard workers, and they wanted this, they earned it. And again, well played from them. They're every single week they dominated, you know. There was only one time there was 2 times they went to game 3 when it came to the grand finals. And that was obviously last week, because they were up 4-0 on training grounds. They ended up losing round 9 after a reverse comeback from Double R, which ended up happening. But the other time was when they played against Aquí Vamos de Nuevo, and they took them to a round 9, a very close round 9 on map number 3. But those were the only 2 times that we seen you know, this roster drop a map. So I gotta say, they had a dominant run. There's your $5. You better claim it, Rocky. I'm telling you, Colin is gonna be good for it. But either way though, Double R, it is a sad and a tough loss. But I do think going into this series, they had to expect this was going to be a very difficult one, and one that they had a good chance of losing, although they wanted to win it, of course. They knew that their main competition was going to be coming up in the loser bracket, and that was going to be against Dream Conspiracy. And I think Dream Conspiracy expected much the same. It would be a huge upset if Marz ended up losing. So for Double R, hang your head up high. You still have a very good chance of being a Pro League team. Even though match number 1 doesn't go well, you already know what to expect in your loser bracket match.
Yeah, you already know what to expect indeed. The loser bracket matchup is going to be a close one, folks, all right? Between RR and Dream Conspiracy, who's going to win? Well, we'll find out about that one soon, but come back to this series, man.
Yeah.
Marz, they earned this one. And, you know, when it comes down to our Challenger Series as a whole, it's an environment for the amateur level Gears of War teams to improve themselves, to rise up to that Pro League quality of gameplay. And I think Marz have done just that. They have shown that the Challenger Series does work. You know, they have came out a better squad, and now I cannot wait to see how they go against the best teams out there in the league.
Without question. And the best teams are going to be coming at their throat. They're not going to make it easy. They're not going to say, all right, you guys are the new guns. We got you. We'll take it easy on you. No, they're going to come out full steam ahead, because I think for them, they want to go even harder against the new kids on the block, right? And I say new kids. Of course, you are very familiar with 4 of these members. Maybe not Zoom necessarily, because Zoom is coming up, making a name for himself very quickly. But that's exciting too. And another storyline I'm going to follow through and really develop as we do cast the second phase of Split 2 Pro League. But without question, though, Marz, well done. You mentioned, though, that next series is going to be tough, and it really is. It's going to be a close one. Last week, we had a chance to watch Double R play against Dream Conspiracy, and it ended up as a 2-0, 10-6 overall round count. Double R ended up taking the victory, so Dream Conspiracy has suffered a loss. But then again, though, it was still a close series, and I expect it to be even closer today. But enough of that. I'm sure Jacob and Colin are going to do a great job at breaking that down. I want to break down Marz, and of course, we have to talk to Jippery McLeod, the coach of this great roster. Brother, how you doing? It's good to get a chance to talk to you.
I'm doing great, Reflections and Blaze. Thanks for having me on. First off, shout out to the whole team. we are honestly ecstatic that we're finally in Pro League and we're ready to shake some things up.
Heck yeah. Blaze, come on. I know you got some questions for the man. You've been gassing him up much like everybody. Jacob, Colin, what do you got to ask him?
Yeah, I definitely have been. Firstly, I just want to say, I love the beard. Okay, quarantine season
It's beautiful.
it has gotten thicker since the last time I seen you, Jip. All right. But
Yep.
tell me about the process of making it from the Challenger Series to the Pro League. This is a squad full of 4 players who are super talented. Now, as a coach, what did you do to help them get prepared to make it to this moment?
Well, that's a great question, Blaze, and I know that's asked a lot throughout the league. And first off, the team, just off of a base standpoint, was super talented. They're all shot hitters. They all know how to use their power weapons. But when it comes down to it, just being able to break down how the opponent plays and the different strategies you can throw, and just those really small pieces of communication you have to hand over. There's a lot of times where when I first came on board to the team that they had the skill, the talent, and everything, but just those little simple details need to be added back into play. And ever since then, these guys have been popping off left and right. And on top of that, we do VOD review. I'll end up capturing over the top camera angles just to see how other teams play, as well as live footage of them playing. And we'll end up uploading it to YouTube. And we'll end up basically making just a drastic long comment sheet of every little issue we had or question we had, talk back and forth, replay it, and go over how to fix that for next time.
Beautiful.
And honestly, dude, that VOD review, by the way, beautiful. I know a lot of teams don't actually do that. They just go in and play with their vibes, which fair enough. It sometimes works out. And for Hive, they are one of those teams that just play with their vibes, and it does work. After all, they do have a great matchup coming up against United, but good on you for doing VOD review. I want to ask you specifically, because I know you weren't involved with this team when they were ALRM. They were playing throughout the Pro League qualifiers. Lanarchy was there. Zoom replaces Lanarchy. He has been influential with this roster. What's so special about him? Because I love watching him play. For me, he seems like the Swiss Army knife who could just make it happen with any situation.
I think that's a great description to give Zoom as a Swiss Army knife, honestly. And it's kind of fun just to see how he's come into the fold, so to speak. First off, Zoom has a huge optimistic approach when it comes to the game. So there's a lot of times where you've seen rounds where we might be down and out, or so it seems, but it's the positive energy, not only from Zoom, but the rest of the team that projects off of him that really gets us to keep going and fighting for every single second of the round, which is obviously important when it comes to escalation. But then on top of that, it's just Zoom has been kind of a gem in the rough. No one really knew of Zoom, but for me, being able to play like Elo 8s and stuff against him, yeah, he's kicked my tail a lot. So I knew he was definitely going to be able to come into the mold, and he just brings almost everything you want from a team player. But on top of that, he can also bring out his individual skill, which has been apparent all these last so many weeks, including today.
Yeah, today for sure. We watched him with some big 1v1s on Asylum there, and I can only imagine how the comms were on the other end. But it's been a pleasure watching Zoom play, man. He has done wonders here for the squad. But now you guys are moving towards the Pro League, okay? Now, when it comes down to the team that Marz is trying to become, the how you guys are trying to get better, when you see other teams in the Pro League, man, who is kind of indicative of that play style? What type of squad do you guys want to evolve into?
Well, I think that's a great question, and that's going to be one that's a little bit difficult to answer, only because of the fact that we've kind of paved our own way when it comes to our play style. Like when we go through our VODs, we end up seeing like how a lot of these pro teams are playing, and we're taking some of the great characteristics that they have and then melding it into our own type of play style and strategies. So overall, I know that one round we can be aggressive and be in your face, but the next round we might try to throw a completely different look at you. So we're always trying to make people guess what we're going to do next and keep them off kilter and just ready for anything, but always worried if they're going to end up picking the wrong strat to go against us with. So I think in a way that we're taking some of the best elements from a lot of the pro teams that are in the league currently, but also mixing our own personality and smash mouth type of play into it.
Nice.
Okay, fair enough. I like that. We can definitely see that. I got two quick questions, I should say. There's been one team that was able to truly challenge you, and that was Aquí Vamos de Nuevo. And there was a couple weeks back. Your team actually ended up winning and causing Blaze to lose 100,000 channel points. Rest in peace. He's got to make his way back up and slowly get it back. But what was it about that roster that gave you such a challenge? And the second question is for you, actually. You've been a competitor for so long. What made you want to transition into coaching, and how did you get involved with Marz in general?
Well, first off, when we were going against Sleeper and company, I think the reason why that was a little bit of a harder match the first time we went against them was because they did have some type of experience together, and a lot of those players were pro league caliber at one point and have been in and out since Gears Esports has come back around. So I think their general chemistry and understanding as a team made them a lot harder of an opponent than we expected. But being able to break down how they did their pushes and how they were trying to slay out, we were able to counteract that. And then in the recent weeks that we played against them, it became a lot easier because once you are able to pinpoint an identity of a team or what they do, you can dissect them and basically destroy them. So that's how we kind of felt going against them after that. The first time, it was just like a whole new team coming to us, so to speak. And I know we went against them when they were Carnage Gaming at one point, but even that roster was a little bit different as well. And then when it comes to the coaching aspect, I always told myself that there would probably be one day, as much as I love competing in Gears, that I'd be able to use my knowledge and skills to help a young team grow into like a powerhouse. And on top of that, my schedule has been here and there, and it's not as consistent as I would want it to be a player. So I knew it was a good time to be able to try to go over to the coaching spectrum because I do have a lot of great knowledge that I can give to teams, and I'm able to help pinpoint where we have weaknesses that we can improve upon. So when it came to the Marz team, it was kind of like a match made in heaven, honestly, because I tweeted out like, listen, I'm going to the coaching role. I want to help a team get better. Who's out there? And I had a lot of inquiries to go through, but looking at this Marz roster, it was the most exciting one. I know that they're not even close to hitting their ceiling yet when it comes to skill and talent. And I knew someone could come in like myself and be able to improve them to even become better in the league.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Yeah, no, you love to see it, man. Jippery, seriously, congratulations once again. Marz was the team to make it in the pro league, at least. I mean, honestly, from Blaze's perspective, my perspective, Jacob Colin, like we all knew Marz was destined to be in the pro league. But now that you have the shot, now that you're here, the real work will begin. And I can't wait to see how you perform against, PK, right? Fire and Ice, Hive. You take your pick. It's going to be exciting. Once again, man, thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations for being in the pro league.
Congrats,
Jim. Thank you all so much. And shout out to all the casters and the UMG staff and administration. You're all doing a phenomenal job, and we appreciate every single event we get, every single broadcast.
Thanks, but no, really, truly, the team does an amazing job, Jim. Thank you so much. And the players tell the story on their own. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much.